Hey traders, how are you guys doing? I'm coming to you with this video from the hotel here. I've been running from the hurricane today in South Florida. We got into St. Petersburg on the west coast at like 2:30 last night. So I was helping board up some houses, and it looks like this thing is just gonna actually rip up the east coast. Crazy! It's just gonna tear right along the beach. I think it's gonna be pretty bad. So anyway, we're pretty close to the water, so I hope you guys can hear me all right. I wanted to touch on a few markets though, because I've been kind of watching from the mobile. I just can't really give, the usual updates like I wanted. So there's a few things though. I think the biggest thing, I kind of touched on this a little bit, but looks like, I mean, pound sterling's clearly broken, guys, right? So the question is, how much lower are we gonna go? Now look at this daily cycle, right? We're really low within um, the stochastic range. You can see even the RSI. I do use an RSI from time to time. I don't really need it to tell whether or not it's oversold or overbought. Kind of obvious, right? When you're down 5 to 6 days, go sideways, and then you drop another 5 days into new lower lows. So if you're short, this is where you want to be taking profits on lower lows, right? So I have a very tiny position, and I'm just going to let it ride. Um, But you can see, guys, on the weekly chart, let's run some regression channels. All right, so we're getting low within the range down here. 126, 125 would probably, actually 125 the figure is probably a place that makes sense. Here you can see the Brexit low, which was pi on the daily, failed right at the upper band. All right, so you can see now we're at the very complete opposite end of the range, right? This is 2 standard deviations on the up. This is 2 standard deviations on the downside. All right, and then we go to the monthly level. There's really nothing to look at. I mean, I think if you probably have some good data or a Bloomberg, you can go back to some levels, maybe in the 80s. Um, I don't have any. I don't have that on this platform. So I would just keep using the standard stuff. The cycle's low. We'll see if we hold the bottom of the range, but we always want to take on new lows. If you've been short longer term or swing, just look at the 4 hour. And so with the pounds breaking down again, it tells me that the dollar has got a good chance of going higher. And we can look at the euro in a second. All right, we need to be covering down here though. Look how low we are. RSI is down around 17, very low, guys. Here's the weekly regression. You see the cycle is very low, right? So don't get greedy down here. Cover some shorts. And then of course, we'll be looking to sell the bounce, right? First place to sell will be on the hourly bounce, but at or near the 30 would be great. It might not even get off this 8 period moving average. That's very likely that it just stays on this 8 train. All right, euro. Look at this. This chart's wild. Flush, bounce, flush, bounce, flush. All right. We flush, cover. Oh, I got this stupid channel on. Get rid of that. They got some music in the background. Hope that's not too obnoxious. All right, so sell off, cover. We bounced, sold some more, covered. I'm only doing this small. This is really small size for me. I just had other stuff going on. All right, so euro is still acting like a range trade, but let's step back and look at the daily. All right, watch this pi level. This is showing you when it gets flat like this, it's showing you the range trade. You can see how the bands are all laying on top of each other too. That's very indicative of a range trade. But if we get a daily closing, guys, through this pi, you got to go with it. And you got to think about these lows again on the euro, 110, maybe even 109. Okay? And we can see the same thing in dollar futures. So I actually bought more here on this candle, and I said if we get a daily closing above 96.5, I'm going to buy more. So I'm actually going to do that tomorrow. All right, and then same thing on the euro, right? Look for that 109, 110 move. Looks like we're going to get it based on the dollar futures. All right, and then we were leaning long here on dollar yen also. I want to show you something. The monthly chart, dollar yen, is in an up cycle and it's coming off the lows. All right, it's oversold. This is a crowded trade. There's a lot of room for this to bounce. If you go to the weekly level, we're back to pi. Price has been in the northern hemisphere. There's a good chance that we can go back to 105, 106, maybe even squeeze everybody to 110. All right, this is bullish here. This is failing to make lower lows is always the first sign the market's turning. If you get above 104 and a half, 105, this thing can pop. I said that on Monday. All right, so I bought this candle here. And then if we get through these highs, you need to buy more. And then we can maybe get a move back to the 200 or maybe complete a pi cycle all the way back to 113. All right, the dailies had a good run. You know, be aware of that. If you do get a pullback back here towards 102 or so, you can also buy more. So I'm going to play this from the long side. You can see how pi is curling up. And the 200's curling up. All right, so we're going to play this from the long side going forward. A few other currency markets. Dollar lira. It's had a nice move. Kind of starting to wonder if there's more going on there, geopolitical. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff going on geopolitical, but this isn't a bullish uptrend. So I took some profits on this candle, and I'll let it come back down a little bit more before getting back in there. The one that is giving us a little bit of trouble, but you have to think longer term, is euro pound. This is euro New Zealand dollar. I just wanted to show that I sold some more today based on the daily cycle. I like that we failed up here at the top of the bands, and then that the cycle is trying to roll over. So I think there's a lot of room for this to travel back lower. So you can short here and put your stop above the high from today or yesterday. What is this, yesterday? The 6th? Today. And then I talked about in the room, this is going against me, but this is a big position. And I'm trying to work this one longer term, guys. It's really high within the cycle. This is a long-term trade for me. This is more of an investing type of trade. So this will be a multi-year trade. All right. And I like trying to be short up here, see if we get a big move down. So I'm playing this with bigger size, and we'll see. I sold a big chunk today. I'll sell more. So I don't know how many people want to sit around and tie their capital up in this type of longer term trade. It's very contrarian right now. So anyway, this one's going against me, so I got some work to do there. But I'm early. I'm well aware of that. Usually I'm early. I got a lot more that I want to put to work here. So I'm currently out of the money. The average is like 67, 87, 67 or so, 64 maybe. All right, so I don't know. Some of you were asking me about that. You just have to play it longer term. If you're swing trading this, you should be long. TMS changed here. This is clearly a bull market. If you wanted to play it contrarian, you should play it small. But I'm trading really long horizon on this one. This is a monthly and weekly chart type of play. All right, guys, it's getting kind of loud here. I'll be on in the morning, assuming I don't think the West Coast is going to lose any power. So they should be on for 9 a.m. in the morning. So I'll talk to you guys then. All right. Have a great rest of your evening.